Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Fairyland in Hawaiian Paradise Park on the beautiful Big Island of Hawaii. Yay! Yay, everyone. Well, I am super excited to share with you guys. I had the most surprising experience and awakening experience this weekend. So earlier last week, like maybe Monday or Tuesday or something like that, my friend said, I've got a spot for you. And I said, what kind of spot do you have for me? And she says, well, I have a really comfy spot with pillows. And I want you to come and stay for this ceremony on Friday night. And it was immediately a yes. So I go, okay, sure, I'll come. It was immediately a yes. So then I find out it's an ayahuasca ceremony. And I go, I'm cool with it. All right. That plant, in case you're not familiar, ayahuasca is a plant that grows a lot in the Amazon, and it also it's a vine. It grows a lot in the Amazon, and it also grows here in Hawaii. Yes. So they call this plant the mother. She is taken as being gentle, loving, and also showing you your patterns. Like if you have any pain in you, or you have any upset or anything like that. It is hallucinogenic. It's super well, let's say I used it because it's in my perception as a device to go deep, and it was really amazing. It was quite transformational, and I appreciate it, and I'll probably never do it again. It's fucking awesome. So today the title of the show is Ayahuasca, and basically I'm going to go through my journey with you because it's a really fun story, and it's interesting, and I'll share all kinds of insights with you along the way. Yeah. Okay, so fun thing before I start. My mom had texted me, so I called her. First, I had Wisdom Dialogues at Hawaiian Sanctuary, and then I called my mom, and I told my mom I'm going to an ayahuasca ceremony, and she didn't know what it was, so I explained to her like what it's like plant medicine, and she was a little bit apprehensive about it, and I asked her if she wants to say a prayer for me. And she said yes, and she said a prayer for me, and she said a prayer asking for clarity. So I really love that, and so I took off, and I went to the location. The location is gorgeous, you guys. Of course, it's in Hawaii, okay, but it is like down this beautiful road that's just so rural with a big ocean view, and green, blue colors, red, things growing big. So I pull in, and immediately the shaman sees me. Okay. And he goes, oh, you must be Haley's teacher. I guess Haley's been telling people that I'm her teacher. This was the first I even heard of it. So this is my friend Haley. She sets up and she hosts the Wisdom Dialogues in person. Okay. And so, oh, you must be Haley's teacher. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I didn't say yes or no to that. I mean, I don't know. I see that the teacher is within, like if you were going to put me in that kind of context, the way he referred to me is I give lectures. And when I heard the word lectures, I said, interesting. I didn't correct him on that. I don't give a shit. But it didn't feel it didn't feel like it resonated for me. I feel like it's more of a sharing. I feel like it's more like a heart share. It's teaching my mind, and that's why. He hasn't seen anything that I've done. It's just a perception. And a perception is always based on a concept. Okay. The self is made of concepts. The false self is made of concepts of self that you're perceiving. Okay. So the person perceiving you is perceiving you through their structure of thought. So like they get an idea that you're something. And, for me, I'm just like, let them have that idea. That's cool. It's cute. It's cute and fun. So, and to him, it was as if I got all of my information in books and then I taught lectures. So I thought that was really interesting. And I just like, when I get an experience like that, where someone's saying something that really doesn't resonate with how I see myself, I just relax into it. I don't argue with them. I don't try to change their perception. I don't mind. It's all good. Whatever their perception is of me is the perception they need to have of me. That's what they need in their life. So that's why they project it. See? So the miracle is when it's established in your mind that this is a dream. Okay. So none of this stuff is real in the first place. It does not matter how he perceives me. He arises in my perception. That means my perception of him is coming from me. So that's just awesome. And so I'm really happy to receive it. And I love to watch if I have any defensiveness arise in my body. So that was really fun. And psychedelic before I even had a psychedelic. Because it's a miracle. And see, what we're being asked to do is to perform miracles all day long. Just keep on performing miracles. It's easy. Wait, it's not easy. That would be arrogant to say something like that. Because it's only easy when there's the willingness. Okay. It's simple though. It's simple. So you don't have to even like understand what I'm talking about to practice it, right? You really don't. I mean, in the moment, if you're just, let's go like this. If you just hope that it's a dream and it doesn't fucking matter what they think, just hope. Offer that little willingness. Just hope. That's it. See how easy that is? And that grows because that's a kind of hope that's worthy of you. Because that's the kind of hope, you're hoping that you'll achieve your goal of peace, and your success in that is guaranteed. So the hope just kind of like draws you toward it in a expeditious fashion. See? I hope so. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Thank you, Glenn. That's great. See? So that's the work right there, performing miracles. And what I see is that shaman also performs miracles. It doesn't matter what his perception is. It doesn't make him like wrong or anything like that. Throughout the whole 3 days that I spent with him, I saw him performing miracles. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This guy, he's just like water. It's really sweet. So, it's so fun. It's just so fun to see like how there's something in the mind that wants to perceive in separation. And yet when you don't accept that, see, the part of the mind that would want to perceive in separation is what's saying it matters what the person thinks. Now look at that, because you'll see there's a reaction when your self-image, the image you think you are, feels threatened. Isn't that so fun? You could say I am a lecturer. I have read a shitload of books. I'm definitely qualified to do that. No doubt. Okay. So then immediately he interviews me. Okay. He takes everyone on an interview. Because he likes to know about kind of like where you are consciously. That helps him determine how much medicine you're going to get. Okay. So we sit down, and it was so funny. We laughed a bunch. And he asked me like how old I am, how many kids, husband, parents. And then he went through each one, asked me how my relationship is with them. And in each one, I'm like, they're all harmonious. They're all totally harmonious, and he's like, okay. And what about your childhood? Did this kind of stuff happen and stuff like that? And were you ever molested? And I go, I did get the perception that I was molested. And he's like, oh, by who? And I go, by my stepdad, for one. And he said, oh, well, how was that like meeting him when he first came into the family? He asked me about that. And I said, well, I just saw this demon face on him, and I saw red eyes, and I made it real to me. And he said, well, maybe he was a demon. And I said, oh, okay. That's interesting. So, that will limit your miracle making power if you take it as if there are demons, because if you take it as if there are demons, then you're going to encounter them. Because remember, you can't perceive anything that doesn't come from you. So any demon that pops up, that's blessed. I just love that. I just love that. It is so blessed. Whatever it is, So then, he's like, well, is there anything you want to change about your life? And I said, no, I don't want to change anything about my life. Well, here's the thing. I didn't mention to him because I didn't want to freak him the fuck out. You can't change anything about your fucking life. You just can't. It's not possible. That's not up to you. And when you think it's up to you, you're holding yourself in a dream. You might be holding yourself in a dream where you're just doing ayahuasca ceremonies your whole life. In fact, I met a whole shitload of people that do that. So that's fun. I loved it. It was great entertainment. It was great. There's 3 dudes sitting on these chairs. They're kind of up from us. We're on the floor, and they got these like blankets and stuff, and they're like the Hispanic. What is it? Peru. They speak Spanish. These colorful blankets, and just beautiful looking men. They're gorgeous, man. They're just like gorgeous men, and they play music and they do this singing that's just like really beautiful. I mean, I would go for that. Maybe I could go, hey, can I go to an ayahuasca ceremony and just chill out? Yeah, or can we just have like that kind of ceremony without the ayahuasca too? Because that is like really awesome. I mean, that is just when they get up and they do the shaman dancing, shit. It's awesome. That stuff's deep. I don't even think you need ayahuasca. They're really powerful vibes, really good, strong, powerful vibes. They're not miracle minded, although they perform miracles all the time. They're just not miracle minded. They don't think in that way, like it's all one. But they do make an effort, and who knows, maybe the ayahuasca helps them with that. It is, if they're using it as a device for that, they're becoming so kind. It's just another path. It's just another path. Now, to me, I would say that path will take longer than being miracle minded. That's why I like being miracle minded, because I could see how fast things go, how things shift, my perception just changes so fast. I'll share something with you a little later about that, how it just shifted in one instant. So back to my interview with the shaman. He's like, why are you here then, if nothing's wrong? And I go, well, my friend Haley invited me and it was a yes. What can I do? He's like, okay. So we go into this tent-like structure. It's actually you could say it's a greenhouse. I think it would be a greenhouse if it wasn't like that. I think you would call it that. But it has like this really nice floor on it that's soft, like you could do yoga on it. In fact, I did. And also walls, like halfway walls, and then the rest is just screen. And then it's all open all the way around. But it has porches, like it has these things sticking out. So it's kind of nice. It's got a place for your shoes to go outside and everything. And then really luxury bathroom area. Yeah, so that was nice because it was kind of pampering. It's a place that I know. They drilled a well and they get hot water into these tubs. And that's like constantly going at this thing. So you can just like jump in this hot water from under the ground anytime you want in these concrete tubs. So that was really fun. I was like really stoked that it was there, and I went in there and it was a really nice space Haley made for me with some pillows, and it's your space. There's like we're all around the walls of this, and then the three guys are like back there kind of like on a stage, almost on a stage. Okay. So I cruise in there over to my spot and check it out. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is really nice. Yeah, thanks, Haley. Haley's like taking care of me, She's like, and she told me one night, Friday night. So I said, okay, I'm going Friday night. But when I talked to the shaman, he said, I do not recommend you only staying one night. That's not a good idea, because he does this whole ceremony thing that lasts 3 days. And you do it for 3 days and you build up. Like the first night, it's like the way he put it, the mother ayahuasca is getting a scan of your body. It's getting like a scan of your physical and emotional body. So then the next night, the second night, is where you go deep. And yes, he was right. That was really awesome. And then the third night, which is what he calls the cherry on top. And yeah, totally. That's how it was. It was really awesome. So I immediately, when he said that, I just got a yes again. I was like, okay, yes. Only thing is, I'm not prepared to stay that long. So I'm going to need to go home tomorrow. He was so leery about that. He thought I was going to run away. I didn't feel any intention in myself to run away at all. I was stoked about it. I was going, you know. Uh, so I go, I'm going to go home. I'm going to kiss my husband and I'm going to let him know. And I'm going to get my stuff. And I also got to take a nap. uh, and that was the next day. Like, so we had one ceremony, and then the next day I would go home. He was like, no way, you're not coming back. And I go, I am coming back. And he goes, promise you're coming back. And I'm like, okay, I promise I'm coming back. And so, so, so I came back and excuse me, you guys. I'm still like being worked on. I feel like I kind of like getting these different waves and stuff like that. I just came back. Like, what time is it? 3? I just got the 3:30. I just came back at 1:30. It ended today. Yeah. 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 And boy, it was like full mode psychedelic until like 6:30 this morning. And then it's kind of like trickling itself away. Yeah. It feels really good. I like it a lot. I think that's awesome. So, and you know what? And it's a feeling that I make for myself. So I know I don't need that thing, you know. Of course, if I'm called to it again, I would go to it again. It's just that, like, there's no, like at this moment, there's no next time ayahuasca like that. They're offering different things, different retreats, and what people do is they follow them around and go from retreat to retreat. And because at the end they go, raise your hand, anyone who's going to these retreats, and a bunch of people raised their hand, and I knew, just from conversation and stuff like that, that that's what they do. They go on like this journey where they're doing retreats. In fact, my friend Haley broke the news to me. I didn't really know. I don't know, maybe she told me and I forgot, but she did 50 of those. She's done 50 of those retreats. And I was like, oh, no wonder it was such a yes. I love Haley, and I just got a chance to experience her path. I think that's awesome. I really enjoyed it. I don't sense that it's my path, but who knows? It's not like I'm not open to it. I'm open to everything, you guys. It doesn't matter. If it's a calling, it's calling. I just go toward it. It's all good. A calling is something like I feel in inspiration and joy in it. I let it be that. I let it be that. I don't push it. That's all. I don't have a choice in it. I just don't push it. And when it rises in thought, I don't push it away. Sometimes I do find myself pushing it away, and then I let my mind get corrected. That's all. It's just like meditation. I find being miracle minded too. It's like, because you get a trigger or a sense that something is being threatened, and you allow yourself to see, and you do see. That's the thing. It's the interpersonal connection that's important. It's that interpersonal connection. And it's not like like we're having an interpersonal connection right here. This is not, probably, unless you're having an experience from your end, this is not the same as a miracle. This is teaching and learning, just like everything else. So wisdom dialogue is equal to any communication. They're all the same because they're for the same thing. They're all for the same thing. So a miracle occurs when there's a trigger, because when there's a trigger, there's a sense that the world is real. Okay? And to carry on that concept that the world is real is just to believe in it. That's all. So when you're recognizing that it's a dream, or the way A Course in Miracles says it is established. So you're establishing in your mind, once it's established in your mind that it's a dream, whatever that trigger is, it leads to a miracle. It ends up in a miracle, and it resolves the pattern. It resolves it for them. It resolves it for you. Who knows? Maybe will allow to allow him a miracle as well. And in fact, I'm sure that it will. I don't even know why I said maybe. Because of that interpersonal connection. So it's like the whole universe, you could say, all of God's sons. We're all sons of God. All of God's sons are healed with miracles. So that is like, once the teaching comes to that point, what you get from ayahuasca or journeys or stuff like that doesn't become so important, because that is not that. Now, it can be a teacher. And for me, it's like I had revelations, which were absolutely amazing. I had revelation after revelation after revelation for hours on end. And that was awesome. And I don't need to go looking for revelations, because they're coming to me. It's not in the manifestation. The ayahuasca did not do that to me. I used ayahuasca, an object in my perception, as a device to get that experience. That's all. Yes. Waves wash over, get the feeling. Thank you, Glenn. It's beautiful. I appreciate that. Yes. Just get the feeling. And that's when it occurs. When you're in ayahuasca ceremonies, okay, there's not a lot of opportunity for trigger from my perspective. Maybe there is for other people, but from my perspective, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for trigger there. Everyone is ridiculously sweet, almost like surprisingly just full of love, like all in this room. They're like, it's so beautiful, heart-centered, all the people that join. And one woman that was there, I thought it occurred to me in my mind, I bet this woman could be a bitch. Don't you love that? So, but that, that's not even like, most people don't recognize that that's a trigger. I do, because I don't want to see her that way. I don't want to see her as a bitch. I don't want to see her as being able to become bitchy. Right? So immediately I see that and just notice that. And that's all it is. That's all it is. You notice how you want to feel. You notice how you're worthy of feeling, how good you're worthy of feeling. And when you feel like, because it is coming on a feeling too, a thought is feeling projected. So when it's coming like that, you just like let yourself know that you're making it up. That's a miracle. So there's another miracle. That's another example of a miracle. See? Because I wouldn't hold it. The thought occurred to me, and I watched my mind start to go there. And I'm like, oh no, that can't be true. I'm making her up. I'm making her up like that. So then when it comes time for her to do her share, she talks about how stressed she's been. And it was just so sweet. I just like, my heart felt so open. I just had all this empathy. And it's like, and empathy is really like a precursor for compassion. So it's like empathy arises. And if you don't pursue thoughts about it, and you just hand it over, kind of like in your mind, hand it over to the Holy Spirit or God or whoever your guide is, it'll turn into compassion, and the compassion can come through you. So that was just a really beautiful uh, action. To me, that's like action. It's like action in the compassion coming through, the empathy, the compassion. Like that's the kind of action that's like really meaningful to me. So the other kind of action, I just let it be the action, whatever it is, and keep on being miracle minded, being willing to see that it's all an illusion and that it's all coming from me. So in that willingness, I get the healing right away. It's just given to me immediately. I don't follow those trains of thought, so I don't go into negativity, which is really a blessing. Big blessing. It's like so much release. And you guys, it's like I still have so much more to release. I feel it. I feel it in my energy field. I've been so attuned to my energy field that I can sense like blockages and stuff. I know, people don't sense these things, these buildups in the field. There's these holdings in the field. And I'm just like almost just that's it, becoming more aware of some holdings in my field. And it's like, wow. And at the same time, I'm like so grateful it is being revealed, because that's how it gets healed. It just keeps on relaxing. It's amazing. And in the relaxing, that's beautiful too. So we're all holding. That's the only way we can be perceiving the world. We're holding in our energy field. So that's why, I often say you can always relax more. Okay. Relaxation and fun. Relaxation and fun. Okay. What's fun? You're fun. So wherever you go, it's fun because you're fun. If you don't feel like you're fun, you're having a misperception. You're having an interesting point of view about yourself that's totally meaningless and false. Relaxed and fun. That's who you are. Let's say that. In a dream, you can be. And you are. It's just that you trick yourself into thinking that you're having you want to have a different experience. You want to have a different experience of yourself. You don't want to have the happy and fun and relaxed experience of yourself. You'd rather uphold the world and make it real so that you can have the world, so that you can keep the world. That's good stuff. Okay. Field of Dreams. Nice. I love it, Glenn. You come up with some shit, man. I love it. It's a good one. Then what did we do? No, they didn't have any food. You're not supposed to eat after 3. So, okay. So then we cruised into the room, and we all like took our places, and we got an orientation about it. We got an orientation about ayahuasca, and the shaman, he's like a medicine man. So he has these different grades or potencies, that's more like it, potencies of ayahuasca, and in these different containers. And it's funny, the containers are hilarious. One of them is like a Hunt's ketchup container. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. How random is that? Like, there's Hunt's ketchup right there, ayahuasca in it. And I think one of them was syrup, like a syrup container. So then he says, surrender to the mother. He says it in an accent that sounds really cool though. Surrender. No, I can't do it. Maybe if I practice it a little bit. So surrender to the mother. Don't fight it. If you fight it, it'll seem like she's not gentle. And that's just, I love that symbolism. If you fight it, it'll seem like she's not gentle. That's why life can seem punitive to people. See? Like their teachings can seem like they're punitive, like I'm getting this because I did this. Right? But really, you're getting that because you're resisting. You're not letting yourself be in innocence. That's all. You know, I noticed one time in the journey on the second day where I got rocked. Like the third cup, I was taking everything they were giving me, by the way. Anything they offered, I took it. You know, I like to go all in, so I don't feel like I missed out and need to try it again. So I took everything. So by the third cup, there's only 3, and you know they space them out. They do some dancing and some wild shit. It is just fun. They blow lots of smoke on you. I was smoky. I wasn't smoking, but I was smoky. I smelled smoky. They had these huge cigars, and they freaking go like this, and they blow it. That's part of their ceremony. Come up to you and blow it on you. Like I got so much smoke. It was awesome. And it's this really good smelling smoke from Peru. The size, and I mean, guys, these are like this big around. They're like, oh, what a trip. I don't think they inhale those. Didn't look like it. Dancing, all kinds of stuff. So it goes around, like one person goes up and gets the ayahuasca. Oh, but first, there was a mandatory rape. Do you guys know what rape is? Rape is it's like a tobacco substance. I don't know for sure. I think it's a tobacco substance ground to a powder. It's ground down to a powder. And they have this big long thing that kind of looks like a pipe. And you get in front of them and you stick it into your nose. They put that powder right there and you stick it into your nose, and then they blow it into your nose from the other end. They just go, and that's a trip. Whoa. Oh my goodness. So that I've actually had rape before, but I blew it into my own nose. So it wasn't, it was the first time, it was ridiculous intense. I did, because you know, you don't know what to expect. It was so intense. It was like it shot. And I was like, what? People do that? I was like, oh my God, it just shocked my freaking whole top of my head. It just went, and I sat down and I took a break. And then another time I tried it again, and it was more mild. And then I probably tried, I actually got my own set of rape before. I got the little powders, and I got the little thing, you like blow it into your nose. You blow it into two nostrils at once. Put your mouth there and 2 nostrils at once. And I did it a couple times, and I wasn't really that interested in it anymore. So I gave it all away. I gave the little thing away, and all the little tobacco-y little, I had different flavors. I had a mint one. I wanted to party. So I gave those away, and I, oh yeah, I've had that stuff before. But when they did it through that long pipe and they blow it, and they have like a technique for blowing it, it's like way different. So again, I thought I knew what to expect because I had the little thing. But when they did that, it was like I was rocked. I mean, you just like, or at least I do. Most people do. Your eyes start watering. The whole like top of the head feels like it's all like just what would be the word? It's like tingly but intense. It's like intense. It's like a shot. I don't find it to be psychedelic. I don't find that one to be psychedelic. Maybe it is, but I don't get that vibe off of it. I mean, it is whatever we make it, right? It's more like an opening, and the way they describe it is it opens the channels. It opens all the channels in the head. So isn't that fun? We came up with something that opens the channels in the head. So that was awesome. Not that anyone needs that again. And that's one thing that I noticed about the group energy. It's very cultish. So in the cultish thing, it's like, this is it. This is the, if you don't take ayahuasca, basically you're like not able to be as good, or I don't know what it is. There's some kind of vibe like that. Like, and then I noticed at the very end, he said something about you all came to here in fear, like we were all dirty when we arrived. And now that we've had the ayahuasca, now we're shining. Now he can see us. And I was like, wow, that's just how everyone comes in here. You can't just already be shiny and be trying out some ayahuasca. That's not possible. Good stuff. So yeah, and it seems like, there's a sense that you need to keep on doing it and keep on doing it, and it's like anything that you think you need to keep on doing anything. I mean, if there's any kind of action you need to keep on doing, it's the action of miracles, which has nothing to do with the perception, nothing to do with anything in the perception. Remember, it's a device that your mind uses to make whatever effects you want. You either use it to make effects for truth or illusion. You use it for make the effects that you want. Okay. These guys believe in death, and they don't seem too fucking willing to let that go. They love it. It's all about having a good life until you die. What about awakening from the dream? How many times do you want to have a dream that you can die when you're an eternal being? How many times do you want to have it? That's what the question comes down to. See? That's what everyone's going to see eventually. That's just how it goes. And we're having a dream of awakening. So in our dream, we are awakening. And at the end of the dream, we just woke up. And that's how the dream gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And still, if you're called to ayahuasca ceremony, there is no problem with that at all. I mean, is everyone ready to be miracle minded? Maybe not. Maybe everyone's on a different trajectory. Shit, I don't know. And I'm sure that if you are willing to be miracle minded, you're giving them more of what they need anyways. You're giving them that beautiful interpersonal connection and miracles. You perform miracles all the time and you don't know it, I bet. Because as soon as you see it, as soon as you see an illusion as such, that's a miracle. When you have the perception that it's real and you accept the perception of the Holy Spirit, basically, that says none of this is true, you can't be threatened, and your perception shifts like that, that's it. That's the healing of the perception that you want. So it goes around, the first person comes up after we took the rape, and it goes around the room. Each person goes up to take their ayahuasca. You he's got like a little bar. If someone said he was a bartender, he's got a little bar, these little bottles that are in old food containers. That was just cracking me up. That was just really fun. And you come and you kneel in front of his little altar with all his things, and he gives you whatever it is that he feels that you need. And that's kind of like what he is. He's kind of like a bartender like that. Like you ask the bartender, give me something, and they kind of like get a feel for what it is that you need, and And so the first night he said was going to be really mild, real mellow. And it was, I mean, it was definitely mellow. I told him that, he asked me if I was feeling anything because I kept on coming up. Oh, here's a good part of it. There's barf buckets. Everyone has their own barf bucket. It's a Ace bucket, and it's like right in front of, I know, it's really funny, huh? They're Ace buckets. I was thinking, like, if I had an ayahuasca retreat, this just like popped into my mind. I would totally like have like silver things like right there, like line up the silver things. So so basically you're supposed to purge. According to the shaman, you're supposed to purge. Like if you don't purge, you're in resistance. If you don't purge, you're in resistance. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I didn't purge. There's no need. There's no need for that. I didn't eat a bunch of food, for one. I wasn't there at dinner with everyone, or lunch. They had lunch. I wasn't there at lunch with everyone. I hadn't been eating much for days. I was like, I don't feel like I need to purge at all. I don't think I have anything to purge. Some bile, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's like, and the purging, it's like that, that supposedly gives you evidence that you got something out. I thought that was hilarious. He told me in the interview that I was going to see bugs come out. I was going to see all kinds of gross stuff come out of myself. Like I was going to see demons and all kinds of scary stuff. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Check that stuff out if it comes up. I'd love to see it if it's there, because if it's there, it came from me. Didn't come from the ayahuasca once again. That's so good. I love that. So it was just that the first night it was like, I told him, you know what? That was like maybe smoking weed. It was mild. It was really mild. Yeah, and the fact that I didn't purge told him that he did not give me enough too, because I'm supposed to be purging. So so the next night he gives me more, and so I take the first dose. He gives me more. He's like, okay, you're getting a lot more tonight. And I'm like, okay. And so the first dose he gives me more, right? And I take it, and I'm taking rape too. Like I'm taking everything that's offered. They're offering the rape too. What he says is the rape helps the ayahuasca get into your system. So so I'm taking this stuff, and I was like, man, I just feel super comfortable and relaxed. This is so nice. I fucking love this. This is like so comfortable. So the next dose comes up, so I go up there and he goes, how are you feeling? And I told him how I'm feeling. And so then he gives me some more. Okay. And he gives me even stronger. And then, and I take the rape again. Right. And then I go sit down, and I'm feeling, more comfort and relaxation. This is so nice. I lay down in it. I'm like, oh yeah. Third one comes up. I'm like, yeah, still comfort, relaxation. Okay, I'm giving you something really ultra premium right now. And I'm like, okay, that'll be wonderful. So I take that, and I take rape again. I'm just going to take whatever's offered here. I want to see these bugs come out. I got to see this. So this is going to be grand. So once I took the second rapé, or that third rapé after that third one, I went and I sat down and oh, I felt weird all of a sudden. It was a trip. The whole illusion, the picture rocked. It went boom, boom, like that. And I'm like, whoa. And then I just like felt like I was just like in a totally different perceptual space. It's just like, it's almost like it just changed. It did a rock side to side like that. Like the whole picture. Like say you got a frame on a wall and you just went like that with it. So I was like, whoa. And I was feeling trippy. I thought I might barf. And that's where I did. It was just like a little bit and it was easy. It's just like, it was like that. I was just like a tiny bit at the bottom of the bucket. It's really easy. Nothing in it except rapé and a little water. Rapé and water. Down there like that. People have buckets like this going. So yeah, your lunch, if you had lunch, yeah, you know, it's likely it's going to come up. I mean, it's kind of like gagging yourself. You're like putting all this substance stuff in there, you know, you know, and you intend to use it that way. Yes. From your mind, you intend to use it that way. And that's why it is used that way. And, you know, if you find yourself like filling your stomach up and then going on rapé, you meant to get that experience of barfing a bunch. That's all. You wanted it. One guy told me, well, he told the whole group, he shared about how he went to lunch and he ate way too much. And then when he barfed up his lunch and he wanted a spiritual barf. Like the lunch wasn't spiritual barf to him. So, you know, because part of it is you look in your bucket and you're supposed to like get a vision, like like something that gives you some kind of insight from your barf. Like you look at your barf and you look for a vision in it. So I looked at my barf. It just looked like barf. I mean, it didn't even look like barf, but it just looked like water and rapé. And I guess, you know, he wasn't getting a vision out of his lunch. And, you know, and then he repeated that to me again. And then he repeated that same story to me again after he did it in the group individually. And I go, just bless it. It's perfect. Just bless that. You can't get it wrong. It is spiritual. It's all spiritual. You know, whatever it is that occurs on the surface, it's all meaningless. You are the one who decides whether it's quote unquote spiritual, which means quote unquote healing. Okay. You decide. You condemn it or you bless it. And there's nothing in between. So I didn't tell him all that. He didn't seem like he was in any kind of mind state to take in all that. You guys are on Wisdom Dialogue, so I'm sharing it with you. You guys are into it. People tend to get threatened if I say something that goes too far for them. And if they get threatened, they go into fear, and that's not really helpful. I can sense when there's an opening, though. I can sense when there's an opening, and then it just flows. No problem. I just told them, it's good. Bless it. It's really good. All of your experiences are good for you. I'm like, okay, yeah. Just simple. So I had that little vomit, and, you know, I felt kind of proud of myself. And then I realized it didn't fucking matter. Like, there, I gave him what he wanted. He got some vomit. I purged. It's meaningful. It's meaningful that I purge. So then they do their little ceremony. Oh my God, the shamanic dancing. Oh my gosh, did I already say something about that? It was, woo, that's some good stuff. I like that. That's some good medicine. I don't know, maybe you need to be on ayahuasca to appreciate it that way. I don't know. I wonder if anyone's willing to do that without ayahuasca so I could check it out. so so after that, some shamanic dancing, and then everyone got up and danced, including myself, and I was having all kinds of conversations with people. And the thought occurred to me, is it possible to be totally fucking high on ayahuasca and not know it? Because I got the sense that I was really high on ayahuasca and I didn't know it, because I was over there and I was dancing and I was hanging out with people. And so then once that was over and I sat back down and then I laid down, and then my friend Haley said, are you going to go get something to eat? Because what people do is normally eat at that time. Okay. That's like their dinner. And it's like midnight, 1 a.m. or something. So Haley asked me if I want to go get something to eat. And I said, I don't know yet. I'll see if I cruise over there. So everyone leaves and I'm in that tent by myself, and whoa, I went on a journey. I went on a journey like I never went on before. I didn't go on the kind of journey that's like you go back in time, or you go this way, or you go that way. I went on a journey of revelation, just deep revelation. So revelation, I wrote it down because I love the way it's put here, is an experience of unspeakable love. That's a revelation. So it's like all of the teachings were culminating and clicking. And revelation isn't that, like it says, unspeakable. And I didn't realize it was a revelation till like 20 minutes before Wisdom Dialogues. I didn't realize what it was. And then it just clicked for me because I had seen it before. Like in A Course of Miracles, I had seen it before and I didn't really get it yet. I'm kind of like, what does that mean? Revelation. And that was it. Revelation, an experience of unspeakable love. And just total, the teachings were clicking in my mind like it was an earthquake. It was like an earthquake. It was like boom, boom. And it's like, oh my goodness, that stuck. It was so awesome and so obvious. And I knew that I knew so deeply that we're here for healing. We're here for healing the perception, not ourselves. We don't need any healing. The perception is an error. If you needed healing, that would say the perception wasn't an error, that it was actually true. Like you don't need healing. You didn't separate yourself. It's just that perception needs to get healed. And that's what it's all for, healing the perception. This is how I was like all the time in ayahuasca ceremony, just with my eyes down like that. It's just like, I don't know. There's something about that. It feels really meditative. It's like most of the time, and I couldn't help it either. My eyes just down. And there's something about like, and I read something like this or saw something like this a while ago, where when you just kind of like shut off the world rather than being all bug-eyed. I don't even know how to do that. So the concepts that were being instilled really deeply during that, or you could say the teachings, they are, it is taught by concepts, but the concepts aren't really the teachings. The teachings are what you're able to take from the concept, because the concept can't be true, right? So it's like one of them is well, a huge one that I've been saying a bunch of times in this particular wisdom dialogues is that everything that you perceive comes from you. That just like sunk so deep. I was so grateful for that. I mean, I suspect it's going to allow for more miracles. I suspect it will. And what I'm being shown is that where we are being asked to be, if we are ready to accelerate our awakening, is in miracles, like just making miracles. Wherever it is we find ourselves, even if it is ayahuasca ceremony, it doesn't matter. Once you become miracle minded, you start to apply the miracle to everything. Now, when you only apply the miracle to certain things and other things get left out, you continue to uphold the world. And that's really what's going on. So we're learning how to apply miracles to everything. And when we apply miracles to everything, then there's nothing to hold up the world. So that's all it is. And, it's joyful too, because every time you make a miracle, you receive the benefits instantly. And the benefits are joy and relaxation. So why not? In that case, it's not even work. It's some effort at first. It's effort to offer a little bit of hope. That's the very first one. And through that, you get made willing. And there's like steps to this process. In fact, I got the message in the very first ayahuasca ceremony, the word steps. And I said, what does that mean? And then by the second one, I was like, oh, steps in the process. And I got the inspiration to do videos, just like doing steps, kind of like steps in the process. Here's what it is when you offer hope, and here's what it's like, and then move that to the faith and the willingness, and going through those. And it's simple. It's really simple, but there's illusions that you need to learn how to slip peacefully past. That's all. So illusions come up. Okay, so the second ceremony, and so before I ever laid down and started getting all those revelations, I got an impression, like a mental impression, not so much an image. It was almost like a black and white, but I saw black and white, kind of like grayscale and all that kind of stuff, but no depth at all. It was more like less like a vision and more like an imagining of what I was perceiving within. If you can, you can kind of get me on that. So it's like I made a sense of an evil or demonic or satanic force, and it started to emerge. It was beginning to emerge. It was beginning to, the eyes and all that. And once again, it's not in color, and it doesn't look a whole lot, but you can sense exactly what it is. It's a sense of it. And as soon as I sensed it, Jesus said, slip gently past it. And what he means is slip gently past the concept of evil, and it's like, okay, so I just like felt into that. And then there was a much larger than that satanic or evil creature thing, much larger, come and embrace it. And it's like the little creature was like, head was right here, and it just came and embraced it. And then when the embrace went down, it was like a Buddha face. it turned to a Buddha face. And it was just like, and then that whole thing just vanished. It was just like gone. And it was just like, oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. That's my child. I made that. Why would I not love it? And I asked, is that the mother? Because the shaman was saying that I have to see the mother. You have to see the mother. I go, okay. Because then you're going to really get it if you see the mother. Okay, let me see the mother. That sounds cool. So I go, was that the mother? And the teaching that came was, you're the mother. You're the mother. You choose to see your child as you made them or as they are. So it's like, it's kind of like you're a good mother or you're a bad mother. You're choosing to see what you made. You made it as threatening or look through it. That's what's called righteous judgment. Bob Shine talked about that last week in Wisdom Dialogues in person, which will be on podcast pretty soon, later on this week, maybe by tomorrow. Okay. Check that one out too. It's really fun. So yeah, that is threatening to me. Even bugs, I don't care. Oh, I'm going to see bugs in my bar. Good. Thanks for telling me ahead of time. I'm not even going to be surprised when I see it. I'm all prepared. Oh, I can see a demon. Oh, awesome. Let me see him. So everyone came back, and everyone came back real quiet because that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, people weren't talking or anything. They just come in. Lights are really low. There's just some candles. They come in. They all go to bed. I'm laying there. I don't say a thing. I'm in the zone. I'm totally in the zone. They all come back from eating, go to bed. So I go in again. Like, I kind of like became aware of the room when people came in. And so then they all settle down. And then I like go in again. And I don't know, for hours, I was just being taught. That's what it was like. But it was all what I already know. That's why it's a revelation. You know, it's like, it's not like a new thing. It's not new. Nothing new. It's just like click, 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 click. And that's, you know, that unspeakable love that comes with that. It's like a temporary suspension of all fear and doubt, all of it. That's why it's an experience of unspeakable love. Like, we have so much fear and doubt that we're holding. And that's what the upset is in the body. That's what aging is. That's what death is. That's what sickness is. It's all that kind of stuff manifesting. None of that stuff really exists. We just make it up. And our mind is so powerful, we can make it as if it's true. It's true. There's a shitload of garbage in the mind. Will it come out through the vomit? No. Because an illusion can't affect the mind. It's not possible. Now, it's the other way around. The mind affects the illusion. Does vomit mean that something's been cleared? Maybe it does. I mean, that would be from the person's perception. You're dreaming yourself awake. Is that meaningful to you? It's fine if it is. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, whatever it is that people want to make meaningful to have their dream of awakening. Does that symbolize that? As long as you're performing miracles, then You're moving forward. Doesn't really matter. You're moving forward, meaning you're following thoughts that serve you rather than thoughts that defile you. It's kind of like you're going up or down. All right. Even though there's no direction, it's just one way of helping to interpret it. Up or down. Heaven or hell. Which way serves me? Okay. For me, I don't take vomit as a symbol of mental purification. I don't know. What I see as a symbol of a mental purification is how well I can perform miracles. That's how I know. I mean, the illusion is like so chaotic, you guys. Like, I don't want to try to make sense of it. It sounds tiring. Okay, this means this, this means this, this means this, this means this. No, I can have it way easier than that. Nice, Glenn. So Glenn took the word evil and he said, and he made it to live, love. And he does it in a creative way. I'm checking it out right now. Okay. Evolve. That's fun. Yeah, just play with it. There's nothing evil. I remember some years ago when I lived here, when I first moved here, I met this psychic and I wanted to trade some Reiki with her. Like we were like totally into trading Reiki together. So I went to one of her Reiki things, which was awesome. It was really cool. We got to give and receive Reiki and the energy was flowing. It was so beautiful. So at some point in the ceremony, or that wasn't a ceremony, the Reiki share, there was 3 of us, or 4, I don't know. She said something about evil and how it, how I asked about protecting, why she needs to protect herself from evil, because she protects everything from evil before having a Reiki session. And I said, oh, why do you need to do that? And she said, because there's evil. And I go, at that time, and that was like 2012, I go, well, I don't think there's anything evil in the world. I don't see it as anything evil. You know, I just know it's all love. And she's like, oh no, she got ridiculously defensive about that. She did not want to have that concept taken away at all. And that was where I really got the sense that, wow, people are defensive about that. You know, it didn't shake my belief at all. I was just sure. I was just totally sure. But I just noticed the defensiveness. You know, I just took note of that. And I go, wow, that's a trip. Like, no way. Especially when I was younger, you know, because like the people I would be telling are older and they would just like be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, kid. Of course, you know, I know better too, like through experience. Like I don't feel like pushing it with people. Like the shaman, I didn't like just start. I just let him say however it is for him, from his perspective about things, you know. Definitely got the sense that he's believing that evil exists, that there's something in the body to heal. The body is real. The earth takes care of itself, like it's not projected. And the earth decides, the earth, Mother Earth decides what happens on Earth. So that's fun. Like if the human species is going to get wiped out, for instance. So, lots of entertainment there. I'm not interested in like triggering someone, So I just listen. I'm like, kind of like, is that so? Okay. So at one point in the night, the whole group was snoring, or like half of it or something, maybe half of the group was snoring. And I was like, wow, I'm up and all these people are sleeping and there's a bunch of snoring going on. I'm just like tripping balls right here. So I'm like, a thought occurs to me that something's wrong if they're snoring, like they have some kind of dyspepsia, or I don't know what it's called, the septum problem, I don't know, throat problem, who knows, some kind of problem. And then I realize I'm projecting it and I'm making the illusion that they're snoring true. I'm like, what? They're not even snoring. I'm making that up. And then really quickly after that, the room went quiet. The whole room. It's like quiet. And I'm like, whoa, that is a trip. And it was really shown to me in that moment that healing happens that easily. Any kind of healing. It's just our faithlessness that doesn't allow it to happen. In that moment, I guess I had the faith for it. I wasn't trying to change it though. All I was doing was performing a miracle. It's an interpersonal connection. I'm perceiving them. I don't even have to be having a conversation with them. I'm just perceiving them. I was like, wait a minute, I'm making it up as if they're snoring. And then I just like, was enjoying the effects of that miracle, just kind of like quiet and enjoying the effects of the miracle. And I didn't even notice when the snoring stopped. But the next time I tuned into the snoring, it was quiet. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I started playing with it because my next door neighbor, the one right next door to me, started snoring a little bit later. And I go, oh no, you're not snoring. You're not even snoring. I am making that shit up. And so then it's turn over and he's quiet again. I was like, what in the world? I was like, this is great. I mean, this is a really deep teaching. And, I asked too, when I went into that, it was funny because it came up like that in the second ceremony. And I asked for healing in the third ceremony though, which, the third ceremony was a different story. That was, like you said, the cherry on top. So so it was really clear to me that anything, we just have to have the faith for it. And the faith comes through the miracle. Like we just keep on performing miracles. Don't hold anything. I got an impression that one guy, what was he? He was just wearing a spiritual costume and he was like talking a bunch of stuff and not knowing what the fuck he was talking about. And I just go, oh my gosh, I'm making that up. And as soon as I know I'm making it up, I get the empathy. There is a projection like that. There is an interpretation like that. And all I can perceive is my own thought structure. So there is an interpretation like that. It's not that guy, really. I'm also perceiving his thought structure. So there may be something there for him like that, but I don't even need to know. I don't even care. I don't care. I'm making him like that. So I am perceiving a thought structure that's all dressed up in a spiritual costume and doesn't think and doesn't really know much. And it's like, you get the empathy for that. That's all. You get the empathy for that. So like I got the empathy for being a person dressed up in a spiritual costume and not knowing anything. And when I allowed myself to get that empathy, then it turned to compassion. Then I felt the compassion with it, with the guy. And, you know, I could still have the perception of him like that and let the compassion flow until I don't have the perception of him like that. Right. So it's like, then once it goes around, it goes around. And as I'm around the person, if I'm around the person, I don't have to be, I may never see them again. It doesn't matter. But if I'm around them, my perception of them will change because I let it. And as the people in my experience become awakened, so do I. That's the thing. And it was so metaphorical when I was in that room by myself and I was like tripping out and I was all by myself and I was having this really deep experience. And I'd come up for air every once in a while and recognize I'm in a room full of sleeping people. And I'm the only one awake amongst a bunch of sleeping people. It was such a good metaphor. Because the sleeping people are aspects of your mind. And it's not up to you to awaken them. It's up to you to awaken yourself. And it's up to you to perform miracles through that interpersonal connection with them. See, you want to have the vision. They're talking about visions in this thing, right? And the visions they're talking about are like colors and all kinds of things that just like get you all gooey and feeling good. I didn't get any of those. He was asking me, kept on asking me, are you getting visions? No, I'm not getting any visions. It's not, I don't get these colorful, airy fairy kinds of things. You know, to me, vision is recognition that everything is innocent. Everyone is innocent. Everyone is divine. And there's no way they can be dirty. There's no way they could be the way I perceive them. There's no way they can be that way. And in that, it's inviting of course, their perception to change, and it will change. It's inviting it, and it's also changing my perception. So here's what's going to go on. If the person is unwilling to change their perception, they're just going to be moved out of my experience. Mind energy attracts. We have a healing. When there's no more healing to be done, the person moves out of the experience. That's just how it goes. It's like energy waves moving toward each other and moving away as needed. So like, I don't need to stick around to try to see the results or anything, because I get the healing from the miracle immediately. And I know that healing and that miracle is shared not only with the person that I'm in communication with, but with the entire world. And, you know, when you are in true communication with one person, you are in true communication with the entire world. Now that's true communication within the dream. So we're being asked to communicate within the dream. Outside of the dream, which the dream isn't even real. So at the only place it's real, it's constant communication. You never broke communication. Constant communication and love with one another. That's why it's simple to see that that's how it is. If you're just willing to see it, you're willing to see that you are in loving communication with everyone. Okay. If you don't see it that way, you're perceiving an illusion. You're making illusions true. And you can just ask for a correction. The correction is totally gentle. Okay. It's when you don't ask for correction where the experience starts to seem like it's punitive. Okay. And that's just as gentle as it could possibly be for your spirit guide to bring you back. It's not going to be any less gentle than possible. Okay. And there was a really good, the symbolism was amazing here. I just had so much symbolism. There was a really great symbol from the shaman about about your life seeming punitive when you don't drop in with your true self, when you don't allow yourself to shine as your true self, you know, and your life can seem punitive. Yeah. That's basically the deal. Like if you're not willing to relax and be in joy, then your life is going to seem punitive. One man shared, which is really funny, that he thought he was being punished for something. And, I thought it was really awesome how the shaman was like, it only seems like you're being punished because of your unwillingness to be in peace. And that's basically all it is, it's unwillingness. So fun, healing a false perception, making miracles. That's all there is, all day long. Hooray. Yes, that's all. Isn't that so nice? It takes all the burden off. Thank you, Glenn. You're awesome. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, so then I didn't sleep. In fact, I haven't slept all these days. Barely any, like an hour or 2 hours, maybe here and there. Didn't sleep the whole night. Next thing I know, the sun's up. In the middle of the night, I had to use the restroom. That was hilarious because I had to use the restroom and I could barely walk. I was totally tripping out. And during the ceremony, which is where everyone else had their journeys during the ceremony, there were like 4 people in the room that were specifically to take you to the bathroom if you need to go to the bathroom. One of them was named Anthony. And whenever I needed to go to the bathroom, he was there and he took me to the bathroom. And I was like, where's fucking Anthony now? I was like, oh, okay, I know, it's fine. I'll get to the bathroom. I just stumbled over there. It was fun. I was like weaving back and forth and stumbling and seeing all kinds of like light trails because they had these little lights. I've seen all kinds of light trails. Always like, I was like, that's cool. This is fun. So I go down, I go to breakfast, don't eat anything, connect with some peeps, go home. Well, first we share. We go in a share circle, and in a share circle, everyone's sharing what they're there for. What are you there for? Which was really nice. Everyone said something different. It was really fun. It's all pretty much the same thing, love, clarity. It's just really kind, really sweet people. I said awakening. I mean, that's where I am for anything. I'm here for awakening. And then also saying, what is it? What you hope to get or what you want to change. Oh, what you want to change about your life. That's what it was. I'm open to inspiration, but I don't want to change anything about my life. And I don't not want to change anything about my life. It's fine. Whichever way it goes, it's good. So that was interesting because later on, after I had that experience from the second night, and I went into the kitchen in the morning, and I was like the first one in the kitchen. It was probably like 7 o'clock, and he was in there by himself. The shaman was in there by himself. I go, did you know you were giving me something that was going to keep me up all night? And he goes, yeah, I did. And I go, oh, that's awesome. That was good. I liked it. He's like, yeah. And he's like, and you thought you didn't need to change anything about your life. And I was like, that hasn't changed. That's not changed. That still holds true. I don't need to do anything about my life. I don't need to change anything about my life. I mean, you get some inspiration. Yeah, like the steps thing, that's inspiration, But, I was just having revelations I wasn't getting anything to change about my life. I was just getting inspirations. I can't even change my life. That's what's a trip. So he said something about he's not understanding why the ayahuasca isn't affecting me more. And that it must be because I have some blocks up. I'm not allowing the mother in. I'm not allowing the mother to go deep. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I suggest you do this combo. It's called combo. It's a thing I can show you. I got like little burn marks on me. See, I got those little burn marks. See these ones in the middle? That's more like what they look like. This is not what they look like where it's red. That's the dragon's blood. It's just gonna wash off. But where it's more clear like that, and that one, that's how it is. And they said it'll go away really fast because they do it really like right on the first layer of the skin. So I go, okay, fine, I'm game. I'll do the combo. I'd just been up all night, tripping out, having revelations, and I felt energized. And then the combo started at 8. This was like 7. I go, yeah, you would recommend me doing that after I've been up all night? He's like, yep. And I'm like, all right. He's like, this is going to be a test for you. And I'm like, okay. So, so still the thing about barfing, I don't know what it is. It's just not like, it's not a thing. I don't think of it in the same way. I don't think that it's bad that I don't barf. But this combo one is a barfing one. So basically that is, they call it milking a frog. They basically tie the hands and legs of this giant frog in the Amazon, and they and so they stress it out on a moonlit night, and it secretes something, and they capture that stuff. They release the frog, very kind, and they dry this stuff, and it turns into a powder. Okay, and then that powder goes into where they just made a little burn wound. It's only the first layer of skin, so it's super chill. I could tell it looks chill. I don't think it's going to be there long. It's okay if it is, but it doesn't seem like it. So he gives me 4 of them, and then there's barfing all over the place. I drank a shit ton of water because that's what they said to do. Drink a lot of water so you barf. And you won't dry heave, instead of dry heaving. So I drank all this water, and I can, like buckets are going off. Like people are just like barfing like shit tons into these buckets. So people are filling up buckets. People are actually coming and taking the bucket and bringing it outside and giving them another bucket. And some people had, actually we all had 3 buckets to start with. And people were just like filling up buckets. So I get the sense that I either have to fart or poo. I can't tell, but my stomach's full. So I'm like, I'm not chancing it. I'm like asking for help. I have to go to the restroom. So I cannot stand up. I have to have someone, I have to be like draped over a person. Okay. Like my arm draped over a person. So this sweet lady comes and she's taking me to the restroom. And then I don't know what happened. I might have been about to faint. I have like a history of fainting too. So that's really fun. I might have been about to faint, but all of a sudden she's going, get in your body, get in your body. Like it was urgent for me to get in my body, get in your body, breathe, get in your body. And I'm like, okay. And I like totally discombobulated, like not knowing what to happen. Like kind of like, why is she saying I'm not in my body? And why is she saying I'm not breathing? Like, I didn't even realize. I was like, okay. And then got me over there. Oh my gosh. And then once I sat on the toilet and some stuff started coming out, I got this deep pain in my abdomen somewhere. It seemed to be like small intestines or something. I got this intense pain. It was like, ow, fuck, that hurts. And, I know that pain is fear. So when I get the sensation of pain, that's how I approach it. Like it hurts and I go, ow, oh, it's like a stab wound. It's like, bam, it hurts. So I get that feeling and say thank you a bunch, just say thank you just to myself, and to them, because they're helping me out. I'm like really just grateful. So they're standing outside and they're like, there's two people out there for me. And they keep on checking on me and, are you okay? And I said, yes, I'm great. I just feel like if I got up and went back over there, I just have to come right back. So I'd rather just sit here since I can barely walk or can't walk. Because when I'm sitting there, I feel halfway like, okay, I could just chill out here. And if I have to poo, it'll just come out, like easy. It still wasn't barfing, had my bucket. Next thing I know, the shaman's out there. There's like a whole bunch of people out there for me. Next thing I know, I'm like, man, I'm glad that I'm the only one this happened to because there's only 2 toilets here. That was a room full of people. I'm glad for most people, it comes out the other end. So he says, Hope, we're going to give you some rape. So I'm on the toilet and the woman who initially like draped me over here comes in with some rape. We're going to give you some rape and you're going to vomit. I'm like, okay. They come in, give me some rape. And that's, the one where they blow it in my nose. And it's like, whoa, it's like a jolt. So nope, no vomit. So then I got done in the bathroom and said, okay, I'm ready to walk back to the ceremony. And we go walking back and we're like barely out and we're on the grass. I go, I got to go to the ground. Like, I can't be up here. I know, because I'm going to faint. I can tell, even if you're holding me upright. I've had this situation before, like some kind of combination of energies, that some kind of trick I play on myself. All of a sudden I'm down on the fucking ground. So I know the feeling. So I'm like, I got to go down. So I went down and I'm on my hands and knees and here's the shaman blowing tobacco on me because he's trying to get me to vomit, and also it clears and grounds. Okay, so he's like everything's gonna be all better once you vomit. So I'm like getting fainty and stuff. So eventually I do vomit right there on the grass, which is really nice. Super relaxing. It was a gentle, really gentle. It wasn't like it would just come out really nicely. Just water. It's all that's in there. Just water. That's all I saw. Oh, and a little bit of slime. I noticed like this slime come out. And that's what he said. He said, you'll have buckets of slime because you're so filthy. So I saw a little bit of the slime. So yeah, I was like, hey, there's some. That's slime. That's awesome. And it was green, which I think they said means gallbladder. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't care. But it was green, and that's a good color. Green with rape. More rape. And I was wearing this kind of dress. It was like a long, flowy silk dress. Really comfortable dress, but I was on my hands and knees. So the wind came, and then I was just like completely naked while I'm on my hands and knees. And the sweet lady had to keep on pulling down my dress. Like I'm totally like butt in the air because I'm on my hands and knees naked. So that was a fun aspect of it. It just kind of like made me chuckle inside. So got back in there, and they put this stuff in my eyes. It like stung my eyes, and I forgot what it's supposed to do. I don't even remember what it was called or anything, but it's like part of that ceremony where they put something in your eyes and just make them burn. They just burn and they secrete all kinds of stuff. I guess it's supposed to be healthy for you. Who knows? Do my eyes feel healthier? No, not. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff coming out of them, which was awesome. There was a lot of like this morning when I woke up, I had these crusties and I tasted them too. I wanted to see what they taste like. They were just like these salty things. And I'm like, whoa, I don't usually get those. And I go, oh, maybe that's the eye drops thing, So that was fun. None of the painful things bothered me at all. Like the getting burned. I got 7 burns. I got 4 at first and didn't do anything. And then he came back and gave me 2 more. And then he came back and gave me 1 more. They burn and put that frog medicine on it. So he's like, just breathe through it. He gives good counsel to people. Just breathe through it. If there's any you know, the painful sensation. Remember, it's just a sensation. I'm like, okay, I got that. So he did the 7 burns all together. And then the pain, that was like the ceremony for my pain process, seeing some pain. I just think that's awesome. I'm stoked. I'm glad when it comes up. I know the guiltless mind cannot suffer. The guiltless mind doesn't have any pain, right? And so that lets me see that, you know, there is something there to be resolved. And I just acknowledge that. And the more I acknowledge it, it's shown to me. I don't go looking for it or anything. I just acknowledge, oh, that's fear. But, you know, I'm not upholding the illusion. So I'm not making more pain for myself. Do you see that? You see how that is? I'm not making more pain for myself. I'm using the pain to see through the illusion when I acknowledge that all pain is fear. Okay. So yeah, that was like the burn. That was pain. Even though they're burning your skin, if you're feeling any kind of pain, that is an indication that the mind is struggling with guilt. That's all. Not that the mind is guilty, it's just struggling with that. You believe it. So, you know, the burns, the pain in the lower abdomen, which by the way is still releasing from that. Gosh, that feels good. It's just like so relaxing. Things are moving around, and there's like this sense, almost like a dull kind of releasing kind of ache. I don't know if you guys have ever had acupuncture or something like that, where you get this like releasing kind of feeling. So that's just going on all the time right now. I guess according to the shaman, that kind of stuff lasts a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, he said. So that's cool. I like that feeling. And I'm excited to have softness come over that area where it doesn't feel like, because I really feel that holding, and it's and as it's releasing. And you know, when you feel it, it's releasing unless you're resisting it. So I wasn't aware of it before. It's you could say it's unconscious, even though nothing's unconscious, but one way to put it, you know, you're not aware of it. And so there's this pain there, and it's going to come up in various forms, and it's going to seem to be caused by something in the world. And when you just acknowledge that pain is fear, and for me, I love it. I love pain. I'm like, I love you. Thank you for showing me, you know, there's fear, and acknowledging that there's fear. And then you can just breathe through the pain. I just take some really deep breath through the pain, and, you know, it subsided really quickly. On all accounts, it just subsided really quickly. I found it to be really gentle overall. The thing is, you know, that I had a different kind of response to taking that kind of medicine. It was more of a poop response and a barf response. And they didn't seem to be too equipped to deal with that one. Because there's a right way, because that's how most people do it. So there's, you know, there's and in the mind, there's a right way, because that's how most people do it. This is how you should be doing it, you know. And it's immediately going to something must be wrong with me because I'm not performing as I should be. Which I love. I don't argue with that at all. I think it's great. That's some good stuff. Who would make a change? Yeah. Thank you, Glenn. That was back a little bit when he typed who would make a change. Yeah, exactly. By the way, you guys, you want to talk to me, you can raise your hand, and you can also type in the chat. Hooray. Oh, there's a Q&A here. I just noticed it. Oh, Sarah. Hi, my love. I noticed that you did that like a half an hour ago. I just noticed that. Please go a little further in explanation of how we make our kids into how we experience them instead of how they actually are. Okay. All right. We do not see anyone as they are. We see an interpretation based on who we want to be and who we think we are. Okay. So it's like, and you know, who we think we are is who we want to be. That's who we would rather be. So we're saying that we're separate. So that's how we could perceive one of our children, because they only arise in our perception. They are only they can only come to us from us. They can't come from anywhere else. So that makes them our children. And it's like, well, would you see your child, and it's as a as the way you made them out to be? See, would you see them as the way you made them out to be, or would you rather see them as they are? As they are, they're completely innocent and holy. There's no way they can be evil. There's no way they can be anything that you think they are. The thinking that they are something is just for fun. Even when you think that they're good things, it's just for fun. It's not really true, but thinking that they're good things doesn't hurt you. Thinking that they're negative things hurts you. That's all. Isn't that fun? It's simple. You wouldn't want to be thought of like that. I wouldn't want to be thought of as, wow, I bet she can get bitchy real fast. And I sure the fuck don't want to think of the person that's next to me like that, because it hurts. That's all. I made them. So yeah, if you want a follow-up question, go ahead. Not like dismiss. Okay, you want to do a follow-up question? You can also raise your hand. Okay, I'm keeping the Q&A open now. I guess I'm out of practice. All right. Very fun. Yay, Amy. I love you. Thank you for joining. That's so awesome. Okay. So I did that combo, and then I got like 2 hours of sleep, like around I don't know, 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. I was able to go into that tent and get 2 hours of sleep. So no sleep the whole time whole night up until 2 p.m. and a couple of hours right there. I didn't eat anything. I didn't feel like eating anything. Like that was just my guidance, just to stay clear in the belly area. It didn't sound good to me to eat with a vomiting ceremony. Like I'd rather vomit water than a bunch of food. That just does not sound good to me. If I'm gonna vomit, it's gonna be like clean. I think it's some smelly thing sitting in front of me. I'm trying to meditate and shit. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that until just now. It was just, I just wasn't called to it. Yeah. And when I think about it, I'm like, shit, no wonder. Thanks for that calling. You trip over it. I've seen it happen. Whoa. So then ceremony again. And I'm feeling like, whoa, am I even equipped for this? This is number 3. And I just had that other one in the morning where they're burning the things on my leg. It was an intense day, man. I was feeling apprehensive. I was telling my friend, I'm kind of feeling apprehensive right now. I'm going to go for it. So it always starts with rapé. And I look at my friend, I go, I better get on my horse. I got up, went for the rapé. It was, by that point, it was like, oh my God, I was still being drawn to it. I was like, but in the beginning of it, I asked my friend, I was like, hey, do you think he'd mind if I just went to sleep and skipped the whole thing? Like I just slept here while you guys did that shit. She's like, I don't know. I don't think anyone's done that. So, but once I saw them getting the rapé ready, and they like have their big long tubey things they're gonna blow the rapé into my nose with, and they got the and they got the little light. They got this little red light. Once I saw that, I got jazzed up. So I go, all right, I'm going for it. And so I did the rapé and won number 1 ayahuasca. Went into a thoughtless, blissful journey. Just sensation. just amazing sensation. I would say it's the same thing like revelation, but without the teachings that include concepts. It was just no uh, no concepts. Like the first one, it was like these spiritual concepts. Like you could put spiritual concepts to them, like love is one, and get a really like deep revelation about that, like love is one. And the concept just occurred to me, like I'm not even like trying to grab at a concept or anything, but it would just in that second one, it was just the concept would just occur to me, and it would be shown. It would be like boom, like an earthquake, right? The last one was nothing like that, just really deep revelation, or a revelation without any concept. So it was just completely bliss, sensational, luxurious, lovely, just a beautiful, blissful sensation. I skipped number 2 on that one because I did not feel like getting up when they turned on the candles again, because once everyone takes the rape, it goes dark and silent, and you just sit in the dark and silent with your whatever's going on with you. So once the light came on again, I was like, fuck no, I am not getting up. I was having such a deep experience, and I was like, at that point, I had taken everything that they gave me up till that point. But at that point, it was like, fuck no, I'm not getting up. I'm not disturbing this. Too nice. So then it starts to kind of like trickle off. So by number 3, I go up there and I go, and he goes, what are you feeling? And I go, I was feeling something. I was feeling some major deep relaxation through this. I noticed it starting to trickle off. And he goes, okay. And he gives me a stronger, even stronger dose. Now he told me after the second night, that he gave me a stronger dose than anyone, and all those people have a shitload of experience, stronger dose than anyone, including someone who had been doing it for 50 years. Isn't that funny? I thought that was good. So so that last one was just so beautiful. We had a sharing after that last ceremony. Remember, everyone else is done tripping again the third night too. Everyone else is done, and I'm there completely tripping. I go up, I try to dance. Nope, that's not happening. I need to get back down. So I tell my friend, I am just so tripping out right now. Like that night I knew. Second night I didn't even know. I was like, the thought just occurred to me, is it possible to be completely high on ayahuasca and not know it? And then I realized, okay, yeah. That time I knew it because I couldn't dance. I needed to. So it was even stronger than the night before. I needed to get down. So I told my friend I was like that, and then we just started having a conversation, and then we looked up and the room was empty. Everyone was gone. They go eat. It's like 2:30 in the morning and they're going to eat in the kitchen, right? And so me and my friend are just having this wonderful exchange. We're just like totally exchanging wisdom, and loving each other up in that way, and having some insights and laughing and just having such an amazing time. And so then she leaves, the people start coming back in. That's when she leaves. And and then I go down again, and it's just like really like just relaxing, just the deepest relaxation. And that's what I feel like if it, in one of those experiences, those are one of those ayahuasca or any kind of experience that like feels the most fruitful to me, is like relaxation and revelation, the combination of those two. I mean, bugs would be awesome too if I needed bugs, but I didn't need any bugs. I think that guy still thinks I need bugs. I think he does. I think he wants me to come back so he can get my shields down so I can see the bugs. I'm like thinking, this guy doesn't think it's possible that I need a different experience. That is so awesome. It's true. You're full of BS. Beautiful spirit. Wink, wink. Love the story. Tripping balls here. Okay, I got another Q&A. Amy, all right. Do you believe psychedelics are a necessary tool to go deeper in a personal practice of revelation? Nope, not at all. No, nothing's necessary. Nothing means anything. That's why. Now that dude, that shaman guy is, and most of the people in that group are going to tell you an entirely different thing. You know, that's why it's kind of cultish, because it, and dogmatic. It can get dogmatic in those ways, you know, where you say you need any kind of experience because the experience is coming. That just makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, because all of your experiences are coming. It's not a matter of what you do. Okay. It's not a matter of that. Okay, I have to check out, guys. It's 5 o'clock. I'm thinking about probably getting some sleep. It might be good. I didn't sleep again last night. I did not have a nap today. Just went straight through. Had some yoga on the floor this morning while everyone was sleeping. And yeah, gosh, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for joining. Bugs Bunny balls. What the heck, Glenn? What does that even mean? Relax. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't finish this question from Amy. Okay, I'm still on it, Amy. Or is it just a trendy thing? You know, trendy. Well, you know, it's pretty hardcore. And what I saw in that room is people were going through it. Aloha, Angela. I love you. People were going through it. Like they're going through some shit. Okay. Barfing and like violently. People are like, ah, ah, ah. You know, like I shared with you guys before, when I bark, it's like, it was like without the drama. The drama is just like they're going through something. That means they're really going through something. So I don't know if that could be like considered trendy. Maybe it can. You know, maybe it can be considered trendy. You know, you want to get in with the crowd and do what the crowd is doing. It's not that big of a crowd. Yeah, I think there needs to be some sincerity there. You know, there's and it seems like those people are so sincere. Like, what a lovely group. Like I said, really lovely. I personally have friends that do it on a regular basis and they're still the same. What ways can we get these revelations? Yeah, girl, because it's not the fucking ayahuasca. It's not the ayahuasca. Those guys are having, you know, the shaman, he seems to be very, very sincere to me. At the same time, this is a career. This is something that's charged for. So it benefits him, and he may not know he's doing this. It benefits him to get people to think that they're broken and they need to be fixed by ayahuasca. And here's the thing: as long as you think you're broken, you're suffering. As long as you think you're broken, you're suffering. And I saw a lot of that in there. If you're, you know, the difference between like when I go into something like that, I know I'm not broken. I know I don't need to be healed. I know it. So I'm in a relaxed state so I can get revelations. That's all it is. Tell them to get out of any kind of self-judgment. That's all it is. People are in there apologizing. Of course, you're going to get shitty things coming up, right? It's like keep on purging, purge. Yeah, that's some funny stuff. Yep, and that's why there's like a plan to keep on going back. I mean, this is a cash cow for people too. These guys they're cruising. They're doing what they love. they're doing what they love, but there's also something there about people. Everyone's broken. Everyone's broken, and you're never fixed. That's just like what the ego says. You're never fixed. There's still more ceremony for you to do until the day you die. That's total ego stuff. Then what? And then that aspect of it, that's the ego. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, barfing. Yeah. So, and that really doesn't entice me to going back to something like that. Just on that concept that, oh, you're broken when you come here, and then you're more shiny when you leave here. And by the way, you need another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Okay. So, hooray, everyone. When am I going to be here next week? Yeah, I'm going to be here next week. I'm not going to be here the week after that. So I'll see you next week on the 9th. And check out my podcast. Get the podcast for the in-person one. The last in-person one was really fun. I think you guys are going to love it. It's going to be up probably by tomorrow. So make sure you check it out. And mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho, everyone.